You know when you're just cruising on a really good channel, looking for something cool to watch, and you just kind of like stumble through,
Predictive.
and you're like, oh
Flat
wait,
earthers have claimed that
what was
they
it?
officially have a working model that actually has predictive power.
Oh?
So let's talk about the man who claimed he made the model and then discuss how he actually plagiarized the entire thing and how it's actually just a globe model in disguise. Flat earther Shane St. Pierre recently posted Shane's flat earth model to his website. The model claims to show the motion of the sun and moon above the flat earth and shows what is referred to
as an azimuthal grid of vision.
Oh, well, we gotta stop you right there, right? That's what's its term. You're already trying to attribute my model to him. We will not have it. Simply no, this is mine. All credit due to me, right? No, of course, this is Shane's Flat Earth model, which everyone is in an uproar about. And then Globers who are spiraling, I do love that you spend all your time thinking about me when I spend so little thinking about you. However, let's address the things that you keep putting in comments, right? Stolen model that pretends to do the same thing. Yeah, nonsense, guys, nonsense. It's free, public code, public source, license. There's no reason why we can't use it. Walter himself literally opted to it, right? He said, oh, please, here, come use my code. It's free. I think something like, no fluffer will figure out how to do it anyway might have come out, but, don't quote me. It's always available at, adl.place and right here on the Shane's Flat Earth model section. And again, all the text descriptions will properly describe the physics as we see them, as it is happening, as you experience the totally realistic observational data that is specific to no map really in model. It's just timeanddate.com data forced on this map, which you can do with any model, like I said. And again, use it for anything that you like. The final touch here, of course, will be the wonderful descriptions, the links to the supporting documentation for the database, should anyone want a question. And of course, we have at the bottom a wonderful video for anyone to check out who hasn't seen it, and forever in perpetuity will be stuck here at Robot Polisher's video. Will describe the video in perpetuity. Made the flat earth dome model just by forcing time and date data onto the flat earth model, because that's all the data shows. And then when it didn't look stupid enough, he tried to make bendy lines and connect things to superfluous points on the ceiling that don't represent anything in reality, because only this equal projection of all the projections of the 201 projections available, only this one would need the bendy light to make it work in reality. None of the other map projection models would have required any such light. Kind of weird, go figure. So it would seem that only the flat Earth map would need the bendy light to make the physics work. Good luck with that, Walter. Of course, it's nonsense. None of the models need it. You just did it there to spite us. But nonetheless, thank you so much for your time, effort, dedication, and surprisingly ill debunking skills. Again, the people who harp on different map projections look at something like this, right? And they think that all these look retarded. That one looked good. This one looks stupid, right? Oh, that one looks gay. This one, it's the same pattern, same light all year, same distribution, exactly equal. I don't know what you guys are arguing about. Please stop being retarded.
Each person as a means to explain the motion of the celestial bodies. Instead of diving right into why this model is ridiculous as a means to explain reality, I've chosen to call out Shane for what is essentially theft. This model right here is a copy and paste of the model made by Walter Bislins.
A model that was made using globe predictions.
It seems we can't help ourselves. We're going to go ahead and solidify the equivalence kinematically and dynamically between geocentrism and heliocentrism that all the upper level scientism priests are well aware of and admit to, and all the underling ignorant people online who practice it have no idea about. So, in the words of astronomer Fred Hoyle, we know now that the difference between a heliocentric and a geocentric theory is one of motions only, and that such a difference has no physical significance. The Ptolemaic and Copernican views, when improved by adding terms involving the square and higher powers of the eccentricities of the planetary orbits, are physically equivalent to one another, so that is astronomer Fred Hoyle agreeing with everything we are putting forth and saying, and disagreeing specifically with Walter Bislin. Interesting. And then we have this physicist Hans Reichenbach says it's very important to acknowledge that the Copernican theory offers a very exact calculation of the apparent movements of the planets. Even though it must be conceded that, from the modern standpoint, practically identical results could be obtained by means of a somewhat Ptolemaic system, it makes no sense accordingly to speak of a difference in truth between Copernicus and Ptolemy. Both conceptions are equally permissible descriptions. What has been considered as the greatest discovery of Occidental wisdom, as opposed to that of antiquity, is questioned as to its truth value. Very smart dude, physicist Hans Reichenbach. looks like we have another smart dude, I guess. To the question of whether or not motion of the Earth in space can be made perceptible in terrestrial experiments, we have already remarked that all attempts of this nature led to a negative result. Before the theory of relativity was put forward, it was difficult to become reconciled to this negative result, and that's from Relativity, the Special General Theory, and Stephen Hawking's stubbornly persistent illusion, crying the same thing, that of course it looks like we're at the center, but we just know that we're not, etc., philosophically choosing science as they will. Now, one more before we go. The ancient argument over whether the Earth rotates over the heavens rotate around us, as Aristotle taught, is seen to be no more than an argument over the simplest choice of frame of reference. Obviously, the most convenient choice is the universe. Nothing except inconvenient prevents us from choosing the Earth as a fixed frame of reference. If we choose to make the Earth our fixed frame of reference, we do not even avow their everyday speech. We say that the sun rises in the morning, sets in the evening, Big Dipper revolves around the North Star. Which point of view is correct? Do the heavens revolve, or does the Earth rotate? The question is meaningless. Untrue. It's very meaningful, and of course, it's the latter. Everything rotates around us. People who are grounded understand this. People who are floating in space, lost, spinning under control, don't. Thanks, everyone.
People have taken a flat Earth and mapped it onto a sphere. Is it possible to map a flat map onto a sphere?
Yeah, that geometry is possible.
And we do want to thank Walter for wasting all his time trying to make us look stupid and then giving us a totally functional working model by accident instead. We also want to thank Walter for, being a good sport about all of this and completely failing to justify this heliocentric exclusive text remarks only. Anyway, thanks Walter, and if you want to get to Walter's site, you just got to click on his meme at the bottom of my page. Thanks Walter. Thanks everyone.